Hey everybody, it's Rabbit, and today we're going to be doing a quick game in the, well, not actually a quick game, because we do end up doing pretty well in it, but in the good old M5A1 Stuart. 2.7 light tank, Stuarts have been moved up in BR a few times. I think pretty much all of them have. They're really good light tanks, even though the 37s do start to lose some of their impact with this battle rating. So, obviously Corellia. We want to get chances to make use of our mobility, so we have two big options. We could go in and around B, or we could go over here kind of off to the side. And obviously, in this instance, we're going more off to the side around C. Around the, AC split. And I kind of hover around here initially, because I thought I might catch some people, off the break. One of the features I absolutely love about Stuart, really responsive forward and reverse gear, really responsive turret drive, and a stabilizer. Just not a lot of features, not features that you tend to see a whole lot of around this battle rating. It's a very responsive tank, and what it doesn't have in a raw power, it makes up for in versatility. I believe this is a bit of an up tier too, this is a 3-7 match, so bear in mind that, this light tank is actually, max up tier. But, here we're mostly, this is, a pretty slow start to the game. We're just kind of chilling around here, and we're trying to see if we can see anything, see if anybody's trying to push up to A or push to B. And really just not a lot happening. But this is where I realized, oh, my teammate's getting shot by this A. But somehow I can't see him, because that is a little much deeper than I thought it would be. But it's fine. Just fire. Point blank range. He's not even looking at us. Easy kill. Nothing too crazy there. So this is our first kill for the match. Pretty straightforward. Nothing too special. And here we realize that there's some people around B, and that our teammates also are doing some fighting, because I actually am in a squad, and my squad is currently the ones that are fighting for B. And this is where I decide that, a pretty classic position is the hill. And I'm like, well, why not? We'll be kind of aggressive, especially because our team seems to be fighting in that little, canyon off to the side. Let's go to the hill. Let's see what we can do. This is a really obnoxious spot to get into with the light tank. It's a lot easier if you have teammates like mine that are helping to control or contest B to the point where the enemy can't really use it. Because if the enemy can get B, they just drive out and shoot you. This is a very exposed position. But if your teammates are covering B, you can use this position to really shut down the middle of the map. And hopefully we're going to see some of that going on pretty shortly. And got a nice little dogfight going on above us. Take some pot shots out to the point, because we saw the enemy is kind of moving on it. But here's where I also see my teammates are kind of engaged over here. So it's okay, we have enough people at B. Let's see what we can do about this. Now, this is one of those things, is I only take 40 rounds of ammo for the 37mm, because most of the time I don't really need it. And here, kind of I'm about to overstay my welcome. So we got 3 shots in. Unfortunately, the spalling doesn't quite do what I wanted. We only get one of its crew. Not the best, not the worst. And we have artillery on us. So, all bad. A very slow start to what ends up being an actually pretty good game. But here I'm I'm kind of waiting for them to maybe forget about me or be distracted. And our first shot's going to be on the AA. We're going to go ahead and kill that. And this Stritzvong, we are just, for some reason, we're just not having the luck I really want out of this fight. It's we can't find a good, we could find decent angles to go through his armor, but we're just not getting the internal damage we need. So this guy just ends up eating a ton of shells. And eventually we kill him, but yeah. So that took a lot of ammo. It's also part of the reason why we end up not having a lot of ammo by the time this game is over. So here, we see this guy. I'm trying to get, like... I'm trying to get the gun down low enough to actually shoot at him. Now I'm just like, alright, fine, I'll just move up on the hill a little bit more. There it is. So first shot, hits the tracks. This is one of the great parts about the Stuart, even though it's not... The gun, while not the most powerful, does actually fire pretty quickly. So you can get disabling shots, and then you can go for kill shots. So you don't necessarily have to go for the one-hit kills, although one-hit kills certainly help with ammo conservation. Like, they're not necessary because your rate of fire is pretty high. Like, at 2.7, a lot of things really don't, like, shoot faster than you do. And there we go, we got, like, most of the crew. Completely missed, though, because he backed up behind the train. So the Panther 3J, we forced it back. And you can kind of see with this position, it's like, you can have pretty good defilade from basically anywhere you really want to have defilade from, and also good lines of sight, which is why this is such a powerful position. Again, it's harder to use if you don't control or at least contest the B point. Like, you kind of need to contest the B point, otherwise it's just too easy to get sniped from anywhere along that part of the map. But as long as you're contesting it, it's a great position to use. And here we're trying to see if this guy re-peaks. Like I wasn't exactly sure where he went, because it didn't look like he went forward or backwards. And I haven't gotten an assist yet either, so it's like, we haven't gotten an assist, he hasn't moved forward, he hasn't moved backwards, like, where is he? Is he still just sitting behind the rock? And it turns out, yes, he actually is just sitting behind the rock. But yeah, the big thing to remember with the Stuart is that its armor, while not terrible, isn't great. You probably don't want to bait out shots if you can help it. Mobility is really good. The gun is fast firing. Not super high damage, not super high pen. But you can just crank out shots if you need to. So you can go for things like engines to just disable their ability to move and then snipe out crew. And you really should be trying... You kind of need to learn crew locations to use a tank like this effectively. Because if you knock out, like, you know, the gunner and the loader, you need to know where the driver is. Stuff like that. And the Stritzfong, you know, rocketed a shot across, but just barely missed him. We actually marked him for our teammates. We have two teammates over there that are kind of pincering him. And we're trying to set up the shot. This is like a ranging thing. Like, if you want to know range to somebody and they're near a point, you can just use that. So if you're relatively new to the game, you can just use that trick of like, okay, the point's 530 meters away, so I need, you know, just shy of 600 for the sights. And here I'm trying to support one of my teammates. I'm not quite hitting him though, there's some wrecks in the way. But teammate doesn't end up getting him, so alright. So we did get a scouting assist for that. And this is where I realize, like I hear a bunch of engines around me and I'm like, we could be in trouble. And sure enough, we do have several vehicles right here. So we have this Panther 3. We also have this Lago. We also have an anti-air. We have quite a few enemies just like right on top of us. And that plane just whips everything. Somehow I missed that one completely on the Panther 3. Then I get tagged by the Lago, which is kind of bad. So yeah, we don't have a gunner, which is always the best. We do get our crew out. The Lago's just right here. The Lago's like trying to push us. Or like the Lago's getting shot at by somebody else. I'm like, I'm not sure if I have like a great position to push him. But then I'm like, well, we have another Lago who's also pushing us. He tries to like inch up. I'm not sure why I try to do that. Like, you need a ton of gun depression to make a play like that work. Because, like, he's trying to go from, like, almost a 45-degree angle to level the gun out, and, like, our rate of fire is just way too high. We would have to whiff multiple shots in a row for, like, pushing up a hill like that to ever be viable. Just, that's a bit of a whiff. Second shot somehow did nothing. Like, our ammo supplies are getting pretty low right now. We're down to a mere 12 rounds. And this is where I realized that, is this where we realized? No. Yeah, we realized that, there he is. Like, oh, there's this Panzer III in front of us. Well, we knock out his engine, and knock out his turret crew, and getting shot by a plane, but it doesn't matter, knock out the driver. Again, like, it's crew sniping, right? Like, we got 2 crew in the turret, so now all we have to do is kill the driver, then he's gonna be out. Or we got 3 crew in the turret. Artillery actually got artillery got him, I forgot about that, yeah. Saves us some ammo, because we only have 7 rounds left. We're up to 7 kills, we have a total of 3 assists, mostly from scouting, although some were from, like, assist kills. So, yeah, we're doing pretty good so far. In fact, I think we actually got a nuke. Like, if there were nukes at this battle rating. Like, we would actually have one at the end of this match. And again, we're just kind of using this one position and just harassing the enemy, scouting, providing supporting fire. And our team is doing pretty well in terms of managing to keep control of B, and we're managing to keep this central area from being able to pressure them on B, so that also is kind of contributing. So it's like, you know, a nice little team where everybody does their job. This low flying plane, not really worth for us shooting at. Got M4 Sherman next to us. Our teammate actually called this one out, like the person we're in a squad with. So that was a nice hit, straight up the middle of the crew. That one got 1 crew, unlucky, but that one does kill. 4 shells left. 8 kills, 3 assists. And here I'm like, this is, having only 4 shells with a gun that has so little damage, like this 37, always kind of a nervous moment. At the end of the day, our team's doing well enough that it's probably not going to matter too much, but I'm like, this is at most like 1 kill, maybe 2 if I really get lucky and kind of stretch it. But yeah, 8 kills and 3 spotting assists. Like, if the map ended now, that's a pretty good game for an M5A1, especially in a max up tier. But we do see this guy, the Cell 6. So we're like, alright, well, let's try for 9. And you can kind of tell, but we can see very little of his silhouette. Somehow that didn't do anything, but that knocked him out. That got 3 of his crew. And that's our 9th kill. We have 1 round of ammo left. A single round of ammo in the entire Stuart. And this, I believe, is the point where I decide to just, you know, screw it. I'm just going to go help my team capture the point. Because, like, with 1 round of ammo left, the likelihood that I'm going to secure a kill is basically 0. But yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was at least entertaining. Maybe a little educational on how to play the good old M5 Stuart. And of course in this particular spot on Karelia, which, you know, a pretty good place on this map to, especially if you have a mobile light tank that can cover ground very quickly. It's a really good spot. I hope you enjoy it. Have a nice day, everybody.